There's a type of man watching this video right now who has been told his entire fitness journey that he needs to slow down, eat intuitively, move gently, and stop stressing out his body. And that advice is coming from people who are supposed to be on his side. And that's the exact reason why he hasn't built the body that he knows he's capable of. And in this video, I'm going to break down the three main male archetypes that have existed since ancient times: the peasant, the warrior, and royalty. And by the end, you're going to understand exactly which one is influencing your physique right now and why the most popular voices in the ancestral health space are unknowingly keeping men stuck. And I'm going to show you the path forward that actually is going to build you a formidable physique. So with that, let's get right into it. But first, I want you guys to know that I'm in the trenches with you. I'm guessing if you're watching this video, your physique isn't where you want it to be. And to tell you the truth, mine isn't either. And this is my fitness transformation. This is what I looked like before I started Gym Tan Beef, and this is what I look like now. Yeah, my arms look a lot better. I'm a lot more shredded, better chest, better traps, but I could get a lot leaner. My arms could be a lot bigger, my forearms. There's still work that I can do. I always want to improve. I feel like there's always room for improvement. But the thing is, most people in the ancestral health space, most of these influencers, they'll tell you, nah, you're good if you just look a little bit above average. And I'm going to tell you why that doesn't work for everyone. So let's talk about what these guys get right. And I want to talk about these guys because honestly, I respect what they do and I agree with a lot of their opinions. Cospra and then CVS Wellness here. I agree with a lot of their opinions, like getting out, getting sun, getting movement, and getting whole foods in. But the thing is it doesn't work for everyone. And that everyone is me, because I did their lifestyle. I moved to Costa Rica, lived in the jungle. I took their ideas of, just eat intuitively and move a lot and you'll lose weight and you'll look jacked and shredded just like these guys. If you just get sun, movement, and whole foods, you'll just get thin and build muscle. That's what I thought. I was like, I trust these guys. But no, I did that and I ended up looking like this. And why? It's because I'm a glutton. I didn't master gluttony. And then my body type. I don't have the same body type as these guys. These guys up here, they're what you call ectomorphs. They're naturally skinny, naturally lean. It's hard for them to put on fat. It's harder for them to put on muscle, but it's harder for them to put on fat. And they can also stay super lean and they look athletic like this. Like, look, Cospra, this guy would be a model if he wasn't a fitness influencer. Same thing, this guy, CVS Wellness, he has like a model physique going on here. Like, no shade towards them. Like, I don't even think this guy squats and he has pretty sick legs here. But the thing is I'm not an ectomorph. I don't have that model body. I'm what you call a mesomorph. So I put on fat easily, but I also put on muscle easier. And if you saw my transformation picture, like if we go back up here, like look, I blow those guys out of the water when it comes to muscle mass. So that's the difference in body type. So if you're watching this and you've been eating animal-based or the carnivore diet or only eating whole foods and you're not losing weight and you're like, why? It's because there's a lot more that goes into it, like your body type. And then there's the 9-to-5 lifestyle. These guys up here, they'll tell you if you eat extra calories, don't worry about it. Just go get some more movement in. If you have a croissant or something, just go run some extra sprints, do some extra push-ups. The thing is, you work a 9-to-5, so you can only go to the gym before or after work. You have a set time to work out. So therefore, your calories have to match the calories that you're going to actually burn in the gym. You can't just have a croissant at lunch and then tell your boss, hey boss, I have to leave like 30 minutes earlier to the gym today because I ate a croissant and I have to burn off those calories like these influencers told me. No, you have a set time, because if after the gym, then you have to go home to your girlfriend, to your wife, to your family. You have other responsibilities. You can't live like a fitness influencer who has extra calories and then can just spend extra time on the beach doing extra sit-ups or doing extra sprints. Like, we have to be realistic here. Like, I come from a 9 to 5. I know what your guys' life is like. You don't live like a fitness influencer. You have a certain time you can go to the gym. Therefore, you can burn a certain amount of calories in that time. So therefore, the calorie load that you eat throughout the day has to match the calories you burn at the gym. You can't just have this like laissez-faire like idea about what you're going to eat that day. And then the other thing is like, this is one of Coast Bra's clients here. It works for skinny guys, but it doesn't work for guys like me who can put on a lot of fat easy. Or maybe you started fat, like I showed you what I started like. I was totally fat. But if you tell a skinny guy, just eat more whole foods and go work out, yeah, he's going to put on muscle. Like, this is one of his clients' transformations. And then even like Coast Bra's transformation. Like, look, he wasn't fat. He's just a skinny kid and he just put on muscle. So yeah, if he eats more whole foods, it's going to work for him. But I'm not talking to skinny guys. Like, I'm trying to help you. If you're overweight, this program is going to work for you. But first, let's get into the 3 main archetypes, starting with the peasant. Okay, now the peasant, he's not lazy and he's not stupid. Like, most people look at peasants as stupid, but he's not. He's just unconscious about his potential. He's made improvements. He's cleaned up his diet. He stopped eating processed food and seed oils. He goes on walks. He's genuinely better than most people. Like, he's skinny. He's not just your regular, like, fat American. But he's better than average, but he thinks that's the finish line without him ever having deciding that. He's thinking, I look better than all my coworkers, but I guess I'm okay with that. Like, the influencers tell me just eat whole foods and move and I'll be better, and I guess that's cool. I guess that's chill. And he's basically surviving and calling it thriving. He's just cool being where he's at. He doesn't have to thrive. He's just cool losing a little weight and having a little nicer physique. Now, how else does the peasant think? I eat whole foods, so I'm good, but whole foods are eaten in excess, they're still going to get stored as fat. Your body doesn't care if the calories come from grass-fed beef and raw honey. A surplus is a surplus. And that's how you saw me, how I got so fat. I was like, if I can just eat a bunch of raw milk, raw honey, a bunch of eggs, like I was drinking 12 raw eggs a day, I was like, I'll be good, you know? It's all whole foods, but no, I gained a bunch of fat. And I move when it feels good. But the thing is, your body actually defaults to conservation. This comes from hundreds of thousands of years of just evolution. If your body is going to have to move, it's going to want to store energy for a moment where you're going to feel threatened. Like if you're getting chased by a tiger, or if you have to go fight someone, it's not going to just want to go like expand energy for no reason. So you're always going to default on like laziness, basically. And he has confused the absence of bad with the presence of great. So he's like, yeah, I'm not eating seed oils and I'm not as fat as I used to be. So I'm not bad anymore, but he's also not great. And he follows the listen to your body framework because his body is telling him exactly what he wants to hear. And that's such a feminine way of thinking. Like, that's literally how my wife thinks. Like, I need to listen to my body. But as men, we're called to be different. We're called to strive for greatness, not just listening to our bodies. Now, the peasant has a ceiling. His ceiling is comfort, and comfort is a slow death for a man with a soul of a warrior. So remember the Disney movie Hercules? Like, look, this is how he started off as a peasant, but then through that training montage, he put on a bunch of muscle, got handsome, and turned into a man. So you can stay a peasant your whole life, and that's fine if you want to be a peasant. If you're fine in a dad bod, looking better than most of your friends, that's fine. But some guys out there want to look better than every man in the room. They want to be the alpha. They want to have the alpha physique. He'll never know what his body is truly capable of because he never even asked it, and he never even put it through the hard work. He's just like, yeah, I guess I lost weight. This looks good. And he's living at 60% and calling it optimal. Like, you really think your ancestors, when they had all this access to like counting calories, to protein, to the supermarket where you can get unlimited protein from animals, you think your ancestors would want to stay a peasant? No, they'd want to get jacked. They want to be handsome and turn into Hercules, not the peasant kid. And here's the peasant's ancestral health trap. You see, the eat what feels good as long as it's whole foods, that's advice designed for a man that's healing from metabolic damage, or skinny men. Like I was saying above, if you tell a skinny guy, eat more whole foods, he's going to get more jacked and put on more muscle. But if you tell a fat guy that, he will get a little healthier, he'll have a better metabolic rate, but he's not going to build a nice physique. And the thing is it validates exactly where the peasant already is, which keeps him listening. Like if you tell a peasant, hey, you can eat as much as you want, you don't have to work on your gluttony, you can just turn that gluttony you have for processed food and eat raw honey instead. If you like milkshakes, you can just have a raw milkshake. Don't worry about it. Just eat whatever feels natural. But nobody's telling them the hard truth. That whole food calories still count. That intuition, you have to actually learn that. You need to build that muscle of how to intuitively eat. And this is built through actually counting your calories. Like once you actually know what food portions look like and you train that over a long period of time, you're going to know like, okay, this is 300 calories of chicken, 300 calories of beef. But if you're just getting started in your fitness journey, you don't know how many calories is in anything, and you're just going to go by your appetite. And you're a natural and if you're a natural glutton like I am, you're going to overeat and you're still going to be fat. So the peasant hears this soft advice and he thinks he's on the right path, and he is on a path, like he's eating whole foods and moving, getting out in the sun. He's just not on one that actually leads where he wants to go. And you see, the peasant isn't the villain of this story. He's a man being failed by the people who are running the society. And we'll get into royalty later, but first we have to get into the warrior, because most peasants have a warrior inside them, and actually most men do, but they just haven't been given either the permission or the framework to take that warrior out of them. So let's get into what the warrior thinks like. So the warrior, I very much identify with the warrior. The warrior is a man who has always felt something pulling at him, a standard he holds himself to that no one else around him quite understands. He wants to be jacked just because he wants to be the alpha. He doesn't really care about anything else. He wants to be better than everyone else. Everyone can't understand why he cares so much about his physique, but he does because he's an alpha. He's been told that he's too obsessed, that he cares too much about his physique, that he needs to just relax, enjoy life, go drink raw milk under a tree, chill out, bro. Why do you care so much about your body? He's been made to feel like wanting a formidable body is vain, that tracking his food is neurotic, and that training hard is damaging his health. Like all these ancestral health coaches will tell you, don't raise your cortisol, don't train, just relax, bro, don't stress, don't track your food. Thing is, tracking your food gives you freedom because you know exactly how many calories you're eating, and you know exactly how many proteins you're getting in every day, how many carbs, how many fats. You literally know the building blocks that are going into your body, into your muscles. Like, you're not neurotic, you just give a fuck about yourself. And that voice telling them to slow down, that's not wisdom. That's just someone else's discomfort being projected onto them. Like whenever I see these kids online telling you not to lift weights, they're always like these 120-pound skinny white kids, and they're like, don't lift weights, it'll raise your cortisol. And it's like, bro, you never even tried lifting weights. That's why you're totally against lifting weights. You don't want anyone to be an alpha over you. Like, I totally understand why you're trying to gatekeep lifting weights from people. You just don't want anyone to out alpha you. And then if you ever felt judged for wanting to push yourself, this archetype is totally you, bro. And it always has been. So how does the warrior think? He doesn't train to feel good. He's training to become something. The warrior pushes his body because, again, he wants to be the best. He understands intuitively what science confirms. The body only changes under stress. Comfort produces nothing. That adaptation lives on the other side of difficulty. He tracks his food because he respects the process. He measures himself because he takes his results seriously. Like, I don't like weighing myself, but I like measuring myself in the mirror because I give a fuck about myself. And that's how a warrior thinks. He doesn't ask, what does my body feel like doing today? Again, a very feminine thing. Do I feel like working out? Do I feel like doing Pilates today? Or do I feel like doing yoga? No, a man goes to the fucking gym because he wants to build muscle. And I'm sick of all these ancestral health coaches telling you, do what you feel, what you like. Do what feels good. Like, you're going to actually default to what feels the most comfortable. Like, if I tell you you have to run 30 miles or 1 mile, you're going to pick 1 mile. And the warrior doesn't ask, what does my body feel like doing today? He asks himself, what does my body need to do to become what I am building towards? I have a goal of a nice physique. What do I need to do to achieve that? He sees his physique not only as vanity, but as evidence. Evidence of his discipline, his commitment, and his standard to himself. And if you're watching this, you know when you see a guy with a nice physique walk into the room, you're like, damn, respect, bro. Like, I know you put in work to put on that muscle. Like, you respect the guy for that. And only the peasants will judge you and the royalty, but peasants will mainly judge you if you're getting bigger than them. And what you have to know, bro, is that the warrior is actually in your blood. And this is an archetype that isn't new. It's ancient. It's arguably the oldest archetype throughout human history. And you see, Greek athletes would train obsessively, not just to win, but to embody an ideal. They wanted a human form at its absolute peak. They considered it a reflection of divine perfection. They considered it becoming like gods. They didn't apologize for that pursuit. They actually consecrated it. And Spartan warriors were not just famous for their combat effectiveness, but their physical appeal as well. Before battle, they would actually oil their bodies and groom their hair and prepare themselves to look their absolute best. I believe it's in Homer's Odyssey. There's a spy from the Persian camp, and the Persians tell him, hey, go see what the Spartans are doing before battle. And he goes, and the guys are like plucking each other's hair. They're giving each other haircuts. They're oiling their bodies up. Like, how scary would that be in battle if you just ran across a bunch of like oiled up guys like ready to fucking kill you with a fresh fade? I mean, it'd be pretty intimidating. And you might be asking, why are they oiling themselves up and giving each other haircuts? Well, there's two reasons why. So in ancient times, a powerful physique and a commanding presence strikes something primal in the other men. Enemies feared them before even a single blow was thrown. Today, a man who walks into a room with size, leanness, and confidence commands the same unspoken respect. Men notice, men respond to it, whether you admit it or not. Like I was saying above, when a strong, masculine guy with a nice physique walks into the room, men are like, damn, okay, respect, bro. You've been hitting the weights. Same thing. This comes from ancient times. Just when you saw a jacked guy walk onto the battlefield, you're like, I think I'm going to go fight the smaller guy over there. And then second, if they died in battle, they wanted to leave behind a beautiful body. They wanted to leave a final physical statement of a life fully lived, that they held nothing back. They brought their best to every arena of their life, to warfare, to knowledge, their appearance, and their character. That body lying alone on the battlefield dead actually told a story that no words could match. Like, if your family saw you and you're jacked and laying there with nicely groomed, they're like, yeah, dad lived the best life he could. He took care of himself. He studied war. He worked on his character. Like, I'm proud to be his son, right? He left a legacy without leaving a book or anything behind, just with his body. And we still carve these men into marble today. Like if you go to Rome, one of the most beautiful cities on earth, all these statues are just jacked guys, like six-pack abs, nice shoulders. Like our ancestors aspired to have nice physiques. And now we can in the modern world, but everyone rather chooses comfort because it's easy for them. So a warrior is shaped from the peasant. So in all stories, usually the warrior starts as a peasant and then has to work his way up into becoming a warrior, just like I was talking about with the Hercules example. So the warrior understands something that the peasant hasn't discovered yet. Stress is not the enemy, but unchallenged comfort is the enemy. Our ancestors were not apex predators because life was gentle to them. They were apex predators because life was demanding. They needed to give everything just so they could survive. And every time our ancestors rose and met that calling, if you are here today, someone in your past rose to a higher standard to carry on your bloodline. And the working out raises cortisol crowd has forgotten this entirely. Yes, acute stress raises cortisol. So something like exercise does raise cortisol, but it also triggers adaptation. It triggers muscle growth, it triggers hormone optimization and mental fortitude. The same stress response that built every warrior's physique in human history. The body was designed to be tested. It was built to respond to hard things. When you don't give it hard things, it has no reason to become harder and you just wither away. Like they always say, if you're not improving, you are dying. If you're not always trying to become a better person, then you are decaying. This is just a natural law of nature. Anything in nature that isn't growing is decaying. And the thing is the iron in the gym, the weights, they don't care what you feel like. They're just the weights. It's between you and the weights, and that's why it works. Now, the warrior's mindset on evolving is totally different from the peasants or from royalty. The warrior doesn't have a finish line. He just has a direction, but that direction is always forward. He always wants more. There's no form of insecurity, but he just wants an unshakable commitment to his own potential. He grooms himself. He trains deliberately. He eats with purpose. Not because someone told him to, because he holds himself to a standard that most men just talk about. He's building something that will outlast a single workout, a single cut, or a single season. He is building a version of himself that commands respect even when he enters a room. His physique is not separate from his character. It's just an expression of it. And here's what I want you to hear clearly. It's okay to want this. It's always been okay to want this. The warriors who have come before you didn't apologize for it, and neither should you. Now, I want to be clear. The men that are failing the warriors today aren't doing this out of malice. In many ways, they're doing it with the best intentions, which is kind of sad. And actually, that's what makes it the most dangerous. So let me introduce you to the royalty. So who are the royalty? The royalty in today's ancestral health space are the established coaches, the men with the large audiences, successful brands, and years of credibility buildup. And the most important thing to understand is most of them earned that position. They were once warriors too. They built their physiques, they did the work, they climbed the mountain. This isn't about resentment. This is about understanding what happens to a man when he reaches the top and gets comfortable. So like Paul Saladino and Brendan are great examples, Santa Cruz medicinals. Paul Saladino for years told you, don't take supplements. You don't need supplements. And then what does he do when he gets a large audience? He releases supplements. And then Brendan from Santa Cruz Paleo. Santa Cruz Paleo. Do you know what paleo means? Paleo means the caveman diet. His supplement company is literally called Santa Cruz Caveman Diet. You think cavemen were taking supplements? You think cavemen were taking protein powders? He even has protein bars now. He makes sleep capsules. You should be getting natural sleep. You shouldn't need a sleep capsule to go to sleep. What's the difference between that and like smoking weed or taking melatonin before bed? There's literally no difference. You should be able to get sleep without capsules. And now, how does this royalty seduce you into inaction? See, when royalty speaks, the peasants listen because royalty has the results. They have the platform, the confidence, and their advice sounds wise because it comes wrapped in credentials and a physique that was built years ago. But here's what most men miss. They are hearing throne advice. Advice written from a position of comfort, security, and arrival. Advice that works perfectly for a man who no longer needs to prove anything. Don't stress your cortisol. Move intuitively. Eat what feels good. These are all philosophies of a man who's left the battlefield behind. Like when this guy, Kosbra, tells you, eat what feels good, move intuitively. I mean, bro, this guy could have been a model if he wasn't a health influencer. Like if you're fat trying to get in shape, him telling you just eat whole foods and move more is not going to work. Like, again, this comes from a throne. He has never been fat. He has no idea how to actually transform you from a fat guy into a jacked guy. He has no idea the mentality of a fat guy, how an ex-fat guy like me used to think. I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you here. And that's why royalty's advice will always fail peasants. Peasants hear royalty and they think that's the path forward, but it isn't the path forward. It's just the reward at the end of the path. They've forgotten that they didn't get their physique by listening to their body. They got it by overriding their body day after day until results were attainable. And not even their body, their mind too. Like at one point, Kosbra was definitely a bodybuilder. I heard him talk about it. This guy was counting his calories. So he knows when he looks at an orange, okay, this has about 80 calories, or a banana. This has about 100 calories. But if you have never counted your calories, you don't know that. So you're like, oh, it's a banana. It might be healthy, has 30 calories. I'll eat 40 of them. You know, you used to eat 40 bananas, you're still going to gain weight, bro. And really what royalty does is they give soft life advice handed to men who haven't yet built their foundations. You haven't built the foundation of like counting your calories, knowing how many calories you burn every day. Like I wear a watch that tells me how many calories I burn. Right now, I'm only at 2,800 for the day. Like if you don't track that, and you're eating more than those calories, like if you're just sitting in an office all day, you probably burn like 2,000 calories a day, and that's like literally eating 2 steaks a day. So if you're eating 2 steaks a day, they're whole foods, but you're still gaining weight. And now they're not doing this out of a malicious intent. It's something actually more dangerous than malice. It's well-intentioned advice, but from the wrong vantage point. So let me bring you into my personal life, and I'm going to get a little vulnerable here. So the peasant first has to be the warrior, and then he can be royalty. But to be honest, guys, I never want to be royalty. I always want to be in the trenches with you, improving my physique. I never want to be selling supplements after I tell you never to take supplements. But you cannot skip the warrior chapter, not if you don't want warrior results. The soft life is a reward you earn by first becoming formidable. It is not a shortcut. It is not a starting point. Okay, and this is where I'm going to get a little vulnerable with you guys. I want to tell you something, and I really don't say it enough because I'm honestly embarrassed of it, is I was a peasant once, so I would consider myself a peasant here, right? And then I became a warrior, but then I became the peasant again because I listened to this mainstream health advice of eat what feels right, eat whole foods, you know. And that was really just because everyone in the space told me it was okay and that I shouldn't want more. I shouldn't want a nice physique because your ancestors didn't want a nice physique. You know, they just wanted an average physique. And this physique looks almost as bad as this, just a little more abs and bigger biceps. You know what I mean? And I really lost myself in like the ancestral and the primal health space, you know, but there was something inside of me that just could not accept this. And the voice kept asking, is this really it? Is this really what I'm capable of? Is this really life? Like being healthy, eating whole foods, not stressing yourself out? No, like this guy is sad at his physique. And now this guy is a warrior, and this guy is confident in his physique. I hope you can hear it in my voice. And now the day I stopped apologizing for wanting to be formidable was the day that everything changed. My training changed, my body changed. You can see how my body changed. My presence changed, and most importantly, the way I looked at myself changed. And I'm not here because I arrived. I'm here because I refused to stay where I was at. Both of these pictures, I refuse to stay here. And that's what the warrior has to do. He has to keep always building, always improving. And now I'm just going to tell you guys what I wish I was told when I was going through my fitness transformation. And that simple advice is, it's okay to want a warrior's physique. You can desire to push yourself, to be formidable, to master your body. And that's not vanity, it's not ego. That's one of the most ancient, honorable impulses a man can have. But here's the truth. The soft life crowd cannot face this. Your body is a direct reflection of the standards that you hold for yourself. It's not your genetics. It's not your cortisol level. It's your standards. Stress is not destroying you. Unchallenged comfort is destroying you. The same biological machinery that built every warrior's physique in human history is sitting dormant inside you. And you're just sitting there right now waiting for it to be activated. You were not built for the path of least resistance. You were built for a path that requires everything. It requires all of your essence. And that's what made us apex predators. Not comfort, but our willingness to be tested and get better. This is what humans are made to do. Go out and conquer, get better, improve, make new things, improve your body, improve your life. That's what we're here to do. And if you've ever been surrounded by voices telling you to want less, to settle for comfort, and to be grateful for average, those are the voices that have been quietly turning warriors into peasants for hundreds of thousands of years. And do not fall victim to this. This ends today, brother. So now I've been talking this entire video about warriors. Men who refuse to accept less than what they're capable of. Men who train with purpose, eat with intention, and hold themselves to a standard that most people around them will never understand. And if that's you and you felt something in this video, I want to talk to you, brother. I want to bring the warrior out of you. I do offer one-on-one coaching. You can find the coaching qualification call link in the description below. I'd love to help you out. But I'm going to give you a warning. I'm not the coach who's going to tell you, eat what feels good, do what feels right. No, we are going to forge your physique. I'm going to give you a workout plan that works for you, your body, and your lifestyle, so you can get the most out of your time in the gym, so you can put on the most muscle possible. I'm also going to make you a custom meal plan, again, designed to you and your lifestyle, so you can make the most gains possible and you can have true health. I don't want you wasting your time in the gym, and I don't want you wasting your time eating this clean food for no reason. Let's put it to the best use possible and make you into a warrior, brother.